present, the experience we had in the Philippines, but also she told me to say something about the Asian Forum in the Philippines. First, let me introduce to you the level of poverty incidence in the Philippines. It's around 40%. The poverty incidence in the Philippines is reduced a little bit in the late 1980s, but when there was the Asian financial crisis, it went up again. So what we did in the Asian Forum in 2007 was to focus on the linkage between agriculture and the industries. And during the first Asian Forum, we looked at different stakeholders of the supply chain, because we have to integrate marginalized sectors like farmers. That was raised this morning by Chandra. How can we integrate the farmers into the mainstream economy? And this is where solidarity economy as a concept came in. So in the first forum in Manila, October 2007, we looked at a solidarity economy in the form of a supply chain, so that it can integrate, this marginalized sector, including the rural poor, because developing countries, agriculture continues to play a big role. And here, you will note that the flow, supply chain flow from agriculture to the urban, basically agriculture is supplying the food. So if you integrate agriculture into the supply chain of an alternative economy, number one, you actually ensure food security. You're not only helping the poor, you ensure food security. And when you ensure food security, there is stability in the industry. When there is stability in this industry, there are more investors that are to be attracted in the processing and the manufacturing sector. This is how we look at the process development in our countries, and we thought that by focusing on supply chain, we'll be able to identify different stakeholders in the economy that could be attracted to create an alternative economy. And in the first October 2007 Solidarity Economic Forum in the Philippines, we had groups like we have producers groups. We call them socially responsible producers. These are the fair trade groups, the groups of the fair trade where Chandra coming from. Also, the organic farmers were there. And then we had a socially responsible investors. Those who are involved in microfinance and social finance, they were there. And then there were a group of socially responsible service providers. These are the teachers, scientists, the educators. They were looking at the environment, they were looking at alternative education, they were looking at values. These were the group that were there. There was also a group on the socially responsible consumption. There were ethical consumers, they were there, comprising of labor unions, the workers' organizations who were looking for a different form of putting their money in a different economy. But of course, we have also a large contingent of youth. So there were about 700 participants from about 27 countries participating in that first forum. And then the second forum, because the participants in this forum decided that is going to be a collaborative effort among the ASEAN the Asians who are looking for alternatives to the mainstream economy right now that tends to marginalize the poor people. And it was decided that it will be conducted once every 2 years. And when we looked around who was ready to host the second forum, then Japan stood up and said, yes, we will host the second forum. And in November 2009, an attempt was made to formalize the definition of solidarity economy. And there was a commitment, there was a declaration commitment among the participants saying that, yes, we are going to stand by, we are going to unite with civil society all over the world to promote this alternative economy that tends to integrate, become more inclusive. It's not going to be exclusive, it's going to be inclusive of the marginalized sector, and it will look into the different initiatives, whether it is fair trade, organic farming, or any other initiative that provides alternative for making this marginalized people become part of the mainstream economy. Next. Now, in the Philippines, we organize presently the Asian Forum on Value Chain Financing for Agriculture because we believe that solidarity economy should really target the largest sector of developing countries, which is the agriculture. Because you see, if we do not provide a solution to this sector, then what will happen is that the urban areas in these developing countries will become so congested with informal settlers. And the social services in these urban areas will not be enough to service this growing number of people, displaced people from the rural areas. So this Negocentro is a means of really developing the supply chain, linkage between producers in the rural areas and the consumers in the urban areas. Next. So this was initiated by my organization. Basically, Negocentro means, this is a local word. Negocio means business. I see Miguel smiling because this is borrowed words from Spanish. Negocio means business. Centro means center. So it's basically business center. By using the word Negocentro, it connotes something new. So Negocentro, that is an old word. So it's branding. So it provides three basic services. The first is marketing services. When you are small enterprise, you will need somebody to help you market your products and services. Number two are the financial services. When you are small, you have no time to find funding support, capital for your enterprise. All you want to do is to produce. And you ask somebody to market your produce. You ask somebody to look for financing for your organization. And of course, the third service is capacity building training, because you see, in the approach, the traditional approach in enterprise development, and I hope there are some people teaching here. I'm an economist, teaching economics, because you see, the old paradigm of economic enterprise development, when you say enterprise, you mean the small company. Right now, the small company is still okay, but the most important unit of analysis right now is the supply chain. Now, what is a supply chain? Supply chains is comprised of different enterprises, a number of enterprises working together for the purpose of making one commodity, the producing and distributing commodity. So you have a rice supply chain, you have a potato supply chain, so it is the supply chain. In construction, previously it was the hollow block. That was the unit of construction. Right now it is the mono block. When you build bridges right now, you have a big mono block that they connect these together. This is the unit of analysis for the supply chain. Next, please. Now, let me define another term that we normally use in solidarity economy: social enterprise. The building block of solidarity economy is social enterprise. It is not any other kind of enterprise. So let us really be very clear about this. The building block of solidarity economy is social enterprise. What is social enterprise? These are what we call triple bottom line enterprises. They strive for sustainable economic performance while contributing to social development and ecological conservation. So they are not against profit, but they use profit for enhancing social development and ecological conservation. So this is not a movement that tries to go against profit. We want profit. We need profit for purposes of enhancing ecology and social development. Next, please. Now, we have a module to walk through capacity building of social enterprises. Actually, we're starting with enterprises that have no social mission. So many enterprises today, they're just, looking into themselves. They want profit for themselves. They're not thinking of social mission. We're starting with this kind of enterprises. We have to walk them through. So we have developed a program in order that they transform their mindset and become mission-oriented. So we start with some social capital formation. They have to be part of the network that thinks this way. They have to be renewed in their mindset. Then they need to understand how are they going to mobilize financial resources. Because this is the first constraint that the small entrepreneur will always think. The small entrepreneur will always think he cannot do because he has the money. I don't know in your country, but in the Philippines, this is the mindset of a small entrepreneur. So when you teach him financial stewardship, financial mobilization, then he goes to another level and he will say, well, I think I have found an answer to my financial problem. My next problem is market. So it is like this. And then when he overcomes the market problem, the next problem is technology. So the third module is value chain, because now he has to manage not only his company, not only his employees, not only the resources owned and managed by the company, but the whole supply chain. The suppliers and also distributors, retailers, and also the consumers. Next, please. So, from this value chain development program that we developed, we now encourage the social enterprise, the company, to gather, its stakeholders. Gather all these producers, investors, consumers, including the youth, and develop a learning journey among themselves to protect the enterprise, the supply chain. If it is a rice supply chain, they will have to plan together. Now, this is how we organize the journey towards solidarity economy. So it's not just like, promoting an idea, but we are developing a business model that can easily be understood by entrepreneur. And entrepreneur will say, I like this idea because now I have a model for planning with my stakeholders. You have equipped me in order that I can plan together with my stakeholders, and now we have a shared vision, now we have shared value. So you cannot have shared value without shared vision. So this is the process, and you will note that the goals of job creation, income generation, poverty elimination, and ecological conservation automatically comes into the picture. I will show you why. So next. This is an example of an enterprise that we try to convince, for the 3P to become a social enterprise. From very profit-oriented to become socially oriented. So we tell him, you have outlets to the right side. These are outlets. These are distribution channels. And he sources his supplies from farmers. Banana leaves, lemongrass, chili, chicken, fish, ginger, vinegar, garlic, tango, charcoal. Because his product is grilled chicken. So he sources all his raw material from the farmers. But most of his customers are in the urban areas. Urban areas are always consumers, like you and me. If you live in urban area, you are a consumer. And most of the time, you consume products from the rural areas. So we told him, look, if you want to grow, and if you want your stakeholders to grow with you, think like a supply chain manager. Do not only think about your small company, and then you solve problem every now and then. You think big, bring your stakeholders in a forum like this, discuss your problem, plan well ahead in time, teach them how to plan 3 years, 5 years down the line. Not only your company, employees and stakeholders, all your supply chain stakeholders. This is how we teach solidarity economy. Because in the process, they must build shared vision, they must build shared value. Next. This is the products. I hope I showed this before lunch. Whenever I show this before lunch, we want to taste this. Okay, next. You see, it is laid down in banana. Very, how do you call this, hygienic, ecologically. We are not using styrofoam or plastics. We use banana. Now, these are the people, sample of entrepreneurs, who were thinking only profit. Now they are thinking in terms of social mission. So one was the former mayor of the city, Quezon City. He does fair housing project, very much like Antonio Meloto. In fact, he is a colleague of Antonio Meloto. He is now doing low-cost housing for the poor. There is another one who offers coffee. I wish, our colleagues from Parsik can come and also taste this one and promote in Japan. Because this is hygienic and it does not, it's called ecological, It uses vegetable, healthy drink, but for coffee purposes. Of course, the grilled chicken, and we have also funeral service. So from birth to death, you have, an array of enterprises. These are the people that we try to change their mindset towards the concept of solidarity economy. Next, please. So the third step that we do in order to promote solidarity economy is to consolidate all the supply chains. Now we have, I think, about 10 supply chains. We consolidate that, and then we organize the Philippine Solidarity Economy Forum, bringing them together so that they can understand their role in advancing the concept. Next, please. So this is the thing that we're trying to tell them. We're saying that, if you grow big, if there will be 1,000 of you, you can actually set up your own mega mall. Because this is where supply chains lead to. Create your own mega mall. 1,000 is not too many. Microfinance organizations now have hundreds of thousands, even millions of customers. Next, please. So this is our governance structure. Next, please. The values formation. There are 4 levels. Next. The first level is everybody thinks about himself. Everybody thinks that, he must get something from you. Next. Then we try to change the mindset. Tell them that, you have something to offer, you have goods and services, you can enter into transactions exchange. But here, you still have unfair practices. So we have to teach them fair trade or fair exchange. Next. We have to raise them to the third level of altruistic giving. You cannot take part of solidarity economy if you are still greedy. You have to have a transformation of your mind to be able to give. Because if you don't have this mindset, then you are going to not be able to contribute to solidarity economy. Next, please. The last and the most ideal stage is where you become an advocate of solidarity economy. You're not thinking anymore of what goes back to you. You are thinking of what you can do for the welfare of other people. You advocate. Okay, next. So, in sum, therefore, let me just wrap it up. That the focus on solidarity economy is not actually on instruments like microfinance, trade fair, organic farming. These are instruments. But we have to open our mindset into the economic paradigm. When you say economy, it is not only about instruments like housing or clothing or food. It is the entire economy. They set up the structure of the economy. So for this reason, this workshop this afternoon is very crucial because many workshops we're only thinking of instruments to deal with poverty. The question is, what kind of alternative economy are you going to bring this initiative? If you don't have an economic structure, the structure for an alternative economy, you will still be stuck in the old mainstream economy. So what for are you trying to alleviate poverty? This is my question to my colleagues in microfinance, social finance. They're making them rich, then I ask them, what for? What kind of economy are you bringing them? These poor people, when they become rich, they will be the next exploiters if you don't change their mindset and bring them to an alternative economy. So thank you very much for listening.
Since this morning we heard that the serious problem facing by nation in Asia is that about 467 million people are at the level of extreme poverty. The challenge is a call for social entrepreneurs to take part in the effort of to reduce poverty. poverty reduction program has been conducted by various parties, including government, civil society, and corporations. However, the program run by the government are still dominant. The weakness of this program run by government, among others, tend to be top-down, facilitation, and not sustainable. Facing this situation, Bina Swadaya started in 1967 as one of the civil society organization and social entrepreneurship institutions, as implementing approaches to eradicate poverty, particularly in 3 efforts, which are first, community-based commodities promotion and development, community-based self-reliance institutional promotion and development, and number 3, microfinancing services and development. Expecting a stronger and wider impact of its effort, Bina Swadaya designed and promote social movement for sustainable empowerment. The movement works as to synergize cooperation among community-based organizations, facilitating institutions, and service providers, while respected government is expected to improve enabling environment through regulations and incentives. To make a good result of improving efforts, a suitable corporate culture and leadership is vital component. Reflecting Bina Swadaya experiences, the following components of corporate culture and leadership is important. First, apply a learning organization with knowledge base. Second, networking. Third, number 3, internalize compassion character. Number 4, running organization with integrity. And number 5, leadership that respects humanity. This is the abstract that you can find in the So I will elaborate a little bit what I have been saying. Poverty condition in Indonesia, total population of about 237 million people. The number of poor, extreme poverty as March 2010 amounted 31 million people, or 30.3%. The number of poor people, according to the World Bank, with a standard of US $2 per day, is more than 50%. Total world population is approximately 6.7 billion. 2 weeks ago, I was in France, and we are trying to shape 2050, and we consider that the population will grow until 9 billion, meaning that about 2.3 billion will new born, and it's as big as China and India. Around 1.5 billion people in the world are in the category of extreme poverty, with the distribution 1/3 or about 467 million in Asia, 2/3 or about 933 million spread across Africa, Eastern Europe, Southern Europe, and Latin America. I'm trying to inform you about our government work in poverty alleviation. Here I try to from time since 1974 up to 88, agriculture program, development of labor-intensive industries, various president instruction programs, and since 1988 up to 1998, integrated area development for village program, infrastructure for village development program, and ad hoc program for post-crisis prevention. In 1998 up to 2006, community-based poverty reduction program in various sectors. In 2007 up to the present, to harmonize all of these things into one very concise action. Now, in this situation, social enterprise role in poverty alleviation, I would like to share with you the role of Economy1 as it focused to three areas. First, community-based promotion, cooperative, and community-based promotion, community-based commodity and promotion and development, community-based self-reliance institutions, and micromanaging service. This is the three areas that we are promoting in the country. First, related to the production promotion. We publish a magazine, Agriculture Magazine. This is about magazine since 41 years ago. This magazine tried to cooperate with the research institutions, and then we test the result from the research, and we get the testimony from the people. And we try to write in the magazine as a promotion of this kind of product. And we get a reaction. And about 30 to 35 production has been promoted within this magazine. You can read Tupang Fish, Red Lobster, Bogan, Fruit, Mahkota Dewa, anything. All is about Indonesian rural product. So, after writing in the magazine and books, we also managed about 2,000 copies, 2,000 titles of products. When the people are respond positively, we announce the program of training based on that kind of product, training and consultation. And then when the people start to do something about that production, we invite them for promotions, marketing promotions, through Agro Expo and 10 science shops of agriculture. This is about the very short how we promote production among people. We do not have our production center ourselves, but so many production centers. So training conducted in that area for people in Pacific. Focus number 2, relate to community-based self-reliance institution promotion and development. Our philosophy is the poor is not the headman. They have data. They have something. So if they have opportunity to share, to learn each among themselves, there will be a process of self-reliance. This is our philosophy, and for that we form what we call self-help group, a group among the people owned by the people. The self-help group is a vehicle of mutual teaching and learning, problem identification, decision making, resource mobilization, and networking. By doing this process, the people are little by little. They are not feeling that they are poor, but because of the solidarity among themselves, then they feel that they can do something to overcome their problem. The operation operational group looks like this. First, the principle comes into that they are focused in income generation, meaning they are very keen to learn about food economy, capital formation, society, and improving business. This group should be also a kind of organization that have an open-mindedness toward new ideas and toward new cooperation. And this organization or the group is managed in democratic way, that they have a regular meetings, information, board elected from members, accountable administration, and participating planning, executing, and evaluation. This kind of performance is not just like this. It's a process of identification, process of self-determination. And for that process, it is necessary a presence of facilitator. So facilitation is very important. Our organization established training center for facilitators. Facilitation intended to provide technical assistance towards self-reliant improvement of the self-help. The role of facilitator as motivator, facilitating a role as helping them to design bylaws, mobilize people, etc. And as a communicator among the self-help groups, but also communicator with other sectors, with the government, with the private sector. Facilitators should have commitment and competence which need proper training. In our organizations, about 3 months, 1 month, 2 months training for special facilitators. The role of facilitators to serve that group is first, they are improving human resources development, institutional development, capital development, business development, and networking. By this, the solidarity instrument of the people at the rural level is formed, and they are capable to control this organization. If this kind of approach continuously run, then the impact in social, economic, and politics. Impact in social related to enhance knowledge and skills, capability to problem identification, and social transformation. In the economy, it's related to creating jobs, capital development, business development, and income generation. At the political level, it's related to fostering participation in local development, bridging socio-economic disparities, improving awareness of citizen responsibility and rights. The result for this kind of years program, our organization in Swadaya has directly facilitated 3,000 separate groups, about 100,000 families. But the most result we get is indirectly when we work with the government and with the corporate. About 1 million separate groups, or about 25 million families. Micromanaging. I'm telling you about the beginning of the 70s, of the 80s, of the 90s, and of the 2000s. Related for this Dinas Swadaya is approaching microfinance based on the local needs, meaning that we are promoting saving-led microfinance, credit-led microfinance, microbanking, and also what we call linkage model, separate groups with the banking, local banking institutions. The final there's belief that in many parts of the world, in many countries, there are always people at peace with their own organization. There is always facilitating institutions. Always they're already there, service provider. What we need is how to synergize this. And for that, networking and partnership promoter is important. And since government has a very vital role, we have to invite government to play in a very proper way. In this regard, I just mentioned related to regulation and incentives. The very last. We would like to recommend, based on our internal reflection in finance market, that organizations like this need corporate culture. That should be knowledge-based, should be based on networking, but at the same time, it should be deep play based on passion. The organization should run in integrity, and for that reason, should be developed in leadership that respect humanity. Meaning, respect humanity in the community, respect humanity in the organization, respect humanity in others, and respect unity